So I'm making a wig, and I was like, yo, I'm on YouTube. I watched my little tarot, and I was like, I haven't done a video for YouTube for a long time. Maybe I should try it again. Forgive me, I'm not an editor. I don't know anything about media, so you're just gonna get it straight, no chasing. So in the last 2 years, I had a baby. Myself and my husband had a baby. And my husband had a baby. And we separated. And I left the job that I was working with at the government for 8 years and a few months at the time. And it was the best decision I ever made. But the purpose of this video, and more importantly, is to kind of talk about some stuff that has happened recently, and has really changed my life. I hope I don't cry, cause Anyway, yeah, I got some got to be glue right here for my little lace wig I wear to work. But anyway, so on July 6th, my sister, she passed. I've always been kind of intuitive, so I was talking on the phone with my grandma. She was hospitalized, and I was talking on my phone with my grandmother. And about 8:17, I noticed it was drizzling, and I had just dropped off my son. I'm talking to my grandmother on the phone, and it started drizzling. She said, "Oh, hold on, da da da," it's calling, which is my uncle. He was my sister's proxy. I said, "Oh, maybe the doctors have some new information." She called me back, and she just crying. She said, "Dinah, she gone, like crying or whatever." And it rained, not rained, like drizzled for a very long time. And I cried. Called my mom, called my brother, my older brother, my younger brother. I think he was notified later, but my sister had a do not resuscitate order on her healthcare proxy or whatever order she had, and it was very weird. Like, she had sickle cell. She was dealing with complications from the sickle cell. In the last year, she just really deteriorated. Like the end of last year in December, she couldn't walk. She was at a rehab facility. I went to visit her. I don't really like hospitals, but I went to visit her. And it was really hard to see her like that, Her knee was really swollen, like her joints just seized up. If you know anything about sickle cell, you know that it affects the joints a lot because the blood gets stuck in those areas as it tries to travel. Sickle cell is a very hard disease, I'm now I haven't done active research, but I've been, very, readily into it and, finding out some stuff about it. And sickle cell even affects white people. So they have different types of sickle cell. And I don't want to say my sister was severe. I don't know. But she went through a lot. She lived a long time. She was 39. In the end, she just struggled so bad. And God is crazy because, not that he's crazy, but, the process of knowing God is crazy because my sister and I didn't really have a great relationship for a long time. She was a very mean person at times, and I think that was part and partial because she was very upset with her situation. We have different fathers, and her sickle cell was because my mom has a trait and her father is full. And she was very angry, and we're 8 years apart. So there was a significance in age difference. And then a lot of different things. She was a bully. I was a fat girl when I was younger. I'm still. But anyway, so even when, things were great, I got married to my husband, and, we were on good terms. My sister had some nasty snide remark to say on Facebook about, at the wedding or something. My wedding was cute. But, a few years ago, I really was like, yo, I don't have a man. I got another baby. I can't be living my life like this. Like, I'm making, amends with my enemies or whatever. And my sister, as much as she was nasty, I always felt like she was lonely too. Because my niece, which is her only daughter, had left her because of, infighting. And, because, like I said, my sister had a very antagonistic demeanor about herself. But she went to live with my mother, grandma. But I always felt my sister was lonely, so I always made an extra effort to kind of include my older brother, younger brother, into like trying to build a relationship. And for a long time, you know, they were like, oh, whatever. Long story short, her health started to decline. So within the last 2 years, since I had my son, he was born in 2015, I saw significant changes in her, especially with her health. Like, there were pictures of her, like looking back, there was pictures of her where she had meat on her bones. She was always slim, but she had meat on her bones, and that by the time she passed, she looked anorexic with a distended stomach. But that was partly because her organs started to fail and swell. Um, by the time my son was born, I kind of was like, you know what, fuck that. I want my kids to live a life where they have nobody that like hates them. I don't want to be in a world where anybody has any issues with me if I can avoid them. So, I always say this, extended my olive branch. And, I tried to, and like I said, in 2016, the end of 2016, I went to the hospital with her. And that's significant for me because I really do not like hospitals. I've faced so many things. I've faced death. I've had seizures, C-sections, 2 babies, all that stuff. But let me tell you something. When they say discharge, I'm ready. Yeah? So I don't really mess with hospitals. So me going to the hospital to spend time with her, see her, talk to her, conversate with her was very important, and it was pivotal. You know, was it before that? Before, a little bit before that, we were talking, via text or whatever. And she was like, I want to go to Antigua. And I'm like, what are you going to Antigua for? It was my grandmother's birthday. She was having a big party. And my sister wanted to go. But, changing climate does affect them. And, she was really sick frequently during the time. And, nobody really wanted her to go because we didn't want her to fall ill down there. Especially because they don't have the same care levels or care and technology for sickle cell down there. But, I said, you know what, pray to God. She's, oh, I paid so much for this ticket. I'm not going to go. Mind you, she's talking to me from a hospital bed. I said, you know what, talk to God and let him know how much you want to go. Next thing I know, bitches in Antigua. Sick and all. You know what I'm saying? My mom said she was like against doctor's orders and went to Antigua anyway. She flew on the plane, sick as a dog, nasty as shit down there. But my brother was there. A lot of family went, and I couldn't afford to go, but a lot of family went, and they talked about her behavior and all that stuff. But you know what? Looking back, I really think that was my sister's bucket list. Like, certain things were her bucket list. When she came back, her health was so poor that she ended up in that same rehab that I was saying. This was like November 2016, December 2016. And from the first of the year, her health just went. And she was very, this, when you know something's happening and only it's profound. And the reason why I say that is because from the point at which she died, I had already felt this, like I was changing, because a lot of things have changed in my life. But let me tell you something. This woman passing was profound for me. I cried a lot before. I had dreams. I feel like Mr. Jumbi. And it was just crazy. And then her funeral came. And me and my brother really handled a lot of finances because the financial part, he was very strong-willed. And, there was some infighting with, who's going to take care of this, who's going to get that. My sister had chose, my uncle to be the proxy and not my mom. One, because my uncle is a beast, and he just wanted to facilitate anything she wanted, and she had a lot of faith in him and carrying out her wishes. She felt like my mom or me or anybody else would put too much emotion into her decision and hold on to her longer than she needed to be here. Like, this was way before she got to the point where her health was failing. And the funny thing is, like, sometimes I feel her in my house. So, like, now I'm talking about it, I don't feel a way. My heart is beating a little faster, but I don't feel like she wants me to know she's here. She may be here, but I don't feel like strong urge. I'll tell you when, though. Don't think I'm crazy. Anyway, her funeral came, and I read something at her funeral, and it really took me a while. It didn't take me a while. Like, I started that and I finished that, and it was juicy. Her eulogy, and I didn't go to her cremation ceremony. I didn't want to partake in that because of the process. Is something that I'm not comfortable with as a person. But we had a memorial service for her. It was beautiful. I wish I could plug in videos, but I'm not tech savvy. And it was good. It was good. I feel a chill on my body, like I feel cold and then warm. But anyway, so long story short, like I said, it's profound when you know your life is changing. You can't do anything about it, and you're alone. This shit is crazy. I feel like my sister spent a lot of time thinking, because she was in pain on her own by herself, struggling. No one can explain what she felt. No one can explain, the pain of sickle cell, the pins and needles, the seizing of the joints, the inability to walk, the times that she had to go to transfusions after transfusions, and then it was to the point where they were like exchange transfusion, where they was doing like a dialysis type process for her. 39 years of that. 39 years. And in that last year, she said, all I want to do is make it to my birthday. My sister, June 29th, she had a little party at her house. She said, oh, Diana, you're going to be there? You're going to come? I hope you have time to come. I said, listen, if you want me there, I'll be there. Don't tell me. A lot of, in the last days of her life, that woman humbled herself, and this wasn't a humble woman. As much as she was antagonistic and, she was very prideful and never wanted anybody to look at her in a way that was unbecoming. She didn't want to be a burden to anyone. Yeah. And it was 6:29, and I got there at like 7. I was like, girl, I'm going to work, but I'm going to make it there. So I had to go get the kids. I made sure I was there for my sister. My sister had on the prettiest little romper, but she had on like compression hose on her legs. I came in her house and I was like, hey, I try to be like, since I started with this situation with my husband, I kind of try to be more outgoing and happy. Not try, but I am. I kind of see my personality growing and blossoming a little bit more. I'm shy at times, but I try to. But anyway, so I walk in, and everybody's there that needs to be there. Whoever's there, and some people come a little later. But like, I sat down on a chair and I sat next to her, and she was laying down. She was very uncomfortable. You could see she's uncomfortable. And I sat down and I was like, hey girl, look at your wig. Da, da, da. Like, she had a little cheap wig on, and she was like, oh, I got this wig for $7 or something, or 20% off. Some nonsense she was telling me. And I was like, who cares? It looks cute. And I'm like, let me fix your wig. And my grandma's there. My grandma's 70. And I'm like, Anyway, like this video is like 15 minutes. But anyway, I hope it's entertaining. But anyway, I look around. I look to my left and I see pictures of my sister and my niece. Mind you, my niece and her are kind of like having a strange relationship. And I look at the other side and I see pictures of her and her daughter, again, my niece. And I see certain pictures of, and it just looked like a fucking museum. Like, it was just quiet in my head. I was just like, this looks, to me, I said, it looks like a memorial. I said to my sister, and I could see her, like, her eyes are crying. And there was times that she got real quiet, and I can hear her heaving, like breathing in and out quietly. But you can hear it like that. And then I kind of break that silence and talk and chit chat or whatever. And I was like, yo, I hope this is not it, you know. Yeah. I think in between, did we talk? I don't know. But 9, no, July 4th came and went, and I kind of spent time and kind of did a little carefree thing with the kids and my husband and my niece. And then, you know, the Monday came, or whatever it was, the day after Memorial Day. And she called and she was just, no, we called her saying we were going to come. It was July 4th. We called to say we were going to come see her. And she was like, I'm on my way to the hospital, da 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 da. And the first, looking back, she was hysterical. Hysterical. Like beyond words. I've never heard her sound so eager. Like in a rush and hysterical. And she said, oh, I'm going to go down. And, you know, and he said, no, go to the hospital. Go to whichever one. Go to the hospital. Just get to the hospital. And flipping back to the story, my sister, it started to rain at like 8:15, 8:17. My sister passed away at 8:12 or something. And it was drizzling. Yo, God is a profound. Ever since I took on this mindset, like, yo, and mind you, she wasn't the smartest girl. She wasn't the nicest. But she said, you know, I don't want my family to worry about me. DNR, do not resuscitate if I'm at the point where I'm not going to be able to be helped. Let me go. And she put that on her proxy, which was my uncle. I think in June, somewhere like June 17th or whatever, she got baptized. She said, Dinah, I don't know if you're going to be able to come. And I said, bitch, if you want me there, I'm going to be there. Don't tell me if I'm not going to come. That was really our exchanges in my drum, the younger sister. She was so frail, you know. But I could see the peace in her. She sat up there and she waited for her turn. And she said, you know, I'm not going to cry. And I said, cry. And she's like, don't interrupt me. I said, cry if you want to. It's how you feel. It's what you feel. You say how you feel. Fuck that. I said, in church, I said that. One thing about me, I believe, you know, God knows who you are. Whatever you say is what you mean. And he understands. Okay? But anyway. So she went to Antigua. She went through whatever. She made amends with her brothers. I told my older brother, shut the fuck up and go see your sister. Communicate, and we got it together. And she got baptized. She saw her birthday. May not have been her 40th birthday, but she saw her 39th birthday. Her mother was there, her daughter was there, her brother, I think my brother came later. My younger brother started to live with her during the time. My children were there. She saw my oldest son's birthday in between in March. She did a lot of things. But I'm telling you, the one thing she taught me is that in this life, if you you know, if you know, you know that it's gonna come, you have time to prepare. She didn't know when it was gonna come, but she was prepared. And she took a lot of steps to fix her life between the time. I don't want to know when. I don't know when she started this change, but she did her bucket list. God damn it! And she was a real ignorant woman, and she was like, "Oh, I'm sick. I'm going to the club. I don't care. I'm going to the club. Oh, I just came out of the hospital. I'm going to the bar. I'm going to the bar." You know, she lived her life, and it just changed me. It just changed me. The first person in my family since I've been born. I'm talking about grandmother, mother, her, me, like 3 generations to pass was my sister at 39. It was just the change. In the in between, I'm gonna see my shirt, books, I wear guns before y'all think I'm crazy. In the in between, I had to cut niggas off. I left a job that I hated. I had a boss that had the same master's degree as me. And, you know, I felt ill-treated. I felt misplaced. I felt my talents weren't being worthy. And I decided to take a jump. I had just enough savings to get me through a few months. Had my brand new car because I had a head-on collision. God's crazy. I had a head-on collision in my hoopty in May. Got a new car in June finally after like weeks of this person. I'm not knowing this person's name. The person just skedaddled. My sister birthday, then she passed, her funeral, and then I left that job. And then I left my best friend. Like, it sounds crazy to me. Like, I really had to step away from a lot of things and a lot of people. I'm at the point where if you can't contribute to my life and impact my life the way I need you to, I mean, I know I need you now, but that's God's work. That ain't my work. That's God's work. If I can see that you're not needed, how about that? I don't know if I need you, but if I can see that you're not needed, you have got to go. And that doesn't mean I love you less. I have a picture of my sister's, you know, she had a memorial, she had her face on her shirt. Face on the shirt, and she's right in my next to my bed. And some mornings I wake up and I talk to her. I touch the t-shirt and talk to her. Okay? Certain things have to happen for you to find that pivot point where things change. I hope that you pray for me. I hope that you think about this and see, like, yo, life is crazy. If you believe in God or not, just believe in the fact that certain things happen. And they happen to show you something. And in that, I'm just ranting, but I just felt it on my heart to say it. I'm not a devout Christian. I don't go to church. I just wanted to talk about my sister. And I wanted to talk about what her passing has done for me. You know, it makes me, I really started to mend that relationship on the strength of my children. And I'm trying to mend the relationship with me and my father, because me and him are not. That's another story for another day. But never in my life will I let any relationship worthwhile go again. I'm gonna make amends with my dad though. It takes time. He did a lot of, you know, hurtful things to me of recent, like in my adulthood. Maybe another video for another time, like I said. But, you know, look at your life. Look at who's in it and who's not in it. Look at the changes that you want to make. I started a business. I was doing it before, and now I'm doing it like mostly full time. I see a growth trajectory in that, and I think it's all my sister's doing. You put spirits, put hands on your life. You hear me? I almost died once, and that changed my life and gave me a lot of insight. But this here, not even being a mother, has prepared me for this change that has come in the last few weeks. Yep. So, yeah. Think about it. Think about who you need in your life, who you don't know if you need them in your life, and who you know you don't need in your life. Okay? And with that, me and my little gots to be glued. We got to go.